Hi, boys and girls. We're going to go ahead and start with our vocabulary today since today is your spelling test. So, competition, remember we have to have a winner. Create means to make something. Endangered means there's a worry that it's going to go away, okay? And then we have the word inspiration. Inspiration is when you suddenly get an idea and you feel like you can do something. So, for instance, you've been trying to think of a paper you have to write and you can't come up with any ideas, and finally it's like a light bulb comes off in your head and you get a great idea. It's an inspiration. So today we're going to find out if Judy gets some inspiration. All right, we're continuing with Judy Moody Saves the World by Peter Reynolds. This one is called Beetle Emergency. The very next morning, Judy started her own search for a real live northeast beach tiger beetle. Before school, she grabbed a peanut butter jar from the recycling bin and ran out into the backyard. She tapped on tree bark. She crawled through itchy grass. She peered down into the dirt. "Here, Beetle, Beetle," called Judy. "Don't be endangered." Here she is, crawling all around in the backyard looking for a beetle. She did not find one single beetle. All she found was an acorn hat, a slug, and a not recycled candy wrapper. "Judy," called her dad, "what are you doing out there in your pajamas?" "Looking for a northeast beach tiger beetle," said Judy. "They're endangered. Mr. Todd says saving endangered species begins in your own backyard," said Judy. "Not before breakfast and in your pajamas," said Dad. "All the beetles are still sleeping." At school that day, Judy searched for a picture of her beetle and a few facts. She looked in the dictionary. She looked in the encyclopedia. She looked in bug books. She even looked on the computer. No luck. Most of the beetles in the computer were the John Lennon or Paul McCartney kind of beetles. The next day was Saturday. Frank Pearl called Judy. "Can I come over?" "Not unless you bring a northeast beach tiger beetle with you." "Okay," said Frank. "You found one?" Judy asked. "For real?" "Well, not a live one, but I found a picture of one." "Do you have any stamps at your house?" asked Frank. "What's stamps got to do with anything?" "Just go see if you have any stamps. Stamps with bugs." Judy put down the phone and ran to find some stamps in her parents' desk. "Just boring old flags," she told Frank. "Well, I have gazillions of stamps, and how come you have so many stamps?" "I collect them. I was pasting some in my album when I saw your beetle on one of the stamps." "Bring it over right away," said Judy. "Tell your mom it's an emergency." Half an hour later, Frank rang the doorbell. "Finally," said Judy, pulling him into the living room. Frank put his stamp album on the coffee table and opened it up. He turned to the insects and spiders page. "Look at all the beetles," said Frank. "That's a lady beetle. Those are good luck. And there's a dung beetle, a Hercules beetle, and a spotted water beetle, even an elderberry longhorn beetle." "Which one is it?" Judy shrieked. Frank pointed to a beetle with a shiny green head and eyes like an alien. Printed below the beetle, it said, "Cindicella dorsalis dorsalis." "That's not a northeast beach tiger beetle," said Judy. "It's some kind of a Cinderella beetle." And here's a picture of them looking at the stamp book. "It's Latin," said Frank. "Latin? Don't they have beetles that speak English?" "Read what it says underneath. Northeast beach tiger beetle, found along sandy beaches in the Chesapeake areas of Virginia. Endangered by changes in habitat, human population, shoreline development, and erosion." "My beetle's a beach bum? Thanks a million gazillion, Frank. Now I can work on my report. First, I'll draw a picture for the cover." "Want some help?" asked Frank. "Sure," said Judy. "You can put caps back on the markers." Judy drew many-legged northeast beach tiger beetles all over the cover of her report. "Make sure they have biting mouth parts," said Frank, "and wings." "Oh, yes," said Judy. "Can I help color them?" asked Frank. "Okay, thanks," Judy said. "Did you already draw your cover for the monkey face mussel?" "Yes," said Frank. "It's a seashell with bumps on it that look like a monkey's face, no lie. You can see eyes and ears and everything." "I've got to see that," said Judy. She printed the title of her report in all capitals. "Save the Northeast Beach Tiger Beetle." "Rare," said Judy. "Double cool," said Frank. Just as she finished her cover, Stink came in the room and looked at Judy's drawing. Why did you draw fat flying footballs all over your report? So here's a picture of her cover, and I guess Stink is not impressed with her artwork. All right, that's where we're going to stop for today. So she's finally gotten herself some information. She's discovered that since they live along the beach, she probably wasn't going to find it in her backyard. But she's got some information now so she can work with her report. Thanks for listening, and we'll learn more about Judy next week.